What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steven's Nerd Corner, and today I got something a little different for you guys. I'm gonna do an arc review for you guys. We're gonna be reviewing Batman, Court of Owls, New 52 run, New 52 timeline, whatever you want to call it, but that's the arc we're gonna be going over. It is first arc in the New 52 run, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and the first arc you're gonna read if you get this omnibus. So that's how I read it, was from the omnibus, and be, fully transparent, whatever. This is my first Batman arc that I've read from like beginning to end. All the issues, like some of the other ones I might have read an issue here and there, and then or I watch a video covering the arc. But this is the first time I read a Batman arc in the comics from beginning to end, straight comics. I wasn't spoiled or anything. I went into this blind. I gotta say, I loved it. It was great. It was an amazing arc. I hooked me. Like I was speed running that arc, and it's a pretty long arc. But I mean, not I shouldn't say pretty long, but it's a nice little arc. And but I was hooked. I thought the Court of Owls was just amazing. Honestly, I think it's a really great arc. The writing is great. There's so many things to unpack. Let's start it from the beginning though. So start off, Batman doing his thing. Now this is the New 52 timeline. DC is officially rebooted, when this takes place for the second time with the New 52 timeline. But, I love it. Art is great. Greg Capullo is absolute demon with his art. Just amazing. I love the bat suit, just everything. Art, every issue is top notch. Top notch. I love the art, every issue. It's that good, and I think Scott Snyder, he does a lot of dope stuff, man. First we get the Bat family, introduced, which is I love anything Bat family related. So we already confirmed we got Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne. So we got three young gods all right there. So that's always cool to see. And then there's Batman, discovering the Court of Owls, this whole secret Illuminati type society thing going on. And the reason why I think it's done so well is because it's not like Batman, like, whoa, man, there's this whole, secret society. He doesn't want to believe it at first. He's like, there's no way that they've been around and they're in Gotham. They're running Gotham, my city, under my nose this whole time, and I've never found out. There's no way. He refuses to believe it at first, which is just dope to see because it makes sense if you think about it from Batman's standpoint. It's just hard for him to believe. Like, yes, he's seen a lot, but this doesn't make any sense because he's put in so much work and effort, and he knows Gotham. That's his city. That's what he says. You get a lot of that there, which is really cool. And the Court of Owls themselves are really cool. Like the Talons, fire. That was so cool to see these like super soldier type things that he's fighting, like zombies. Those are like, well, they're not zombies, but you know what I mean. Sleeper cells or whatever. Those were dope to see. And then there's that one scene where he pulls up with the giant bat suit when they all, pull up to Wayne Manor, and he's just like, get out of my house. That was awesome to see. And and only better because of Greg Capullo's art. Wonderful artist, man. I'm telling you, great art, great art. But everything they did was really cool. Court of Owls, the only time they really lose me for this arc, the one thing I really was a little iffy about was the whole thing with the one talent that was his brother, the other Wayne, and they explained, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. A little funny, but it wasn't his brother. It got a little confusing. I had to reread that issue like 2-3 times. I was like, whoa, what? But still a little on the fence about that. And I'm leaning towards I don't like it much. It's alright, but I don't know how I felt about that sort of twist. But everything else besides that arc with the Court of Owls and they all died and all the crazy stuff that happens is dope. One of the cool things that they did, there's a lot, well, there's a ton, but one great thing, standout moment for me was Bruce interacting with Nightwing, and he tells them one of the Talons had what was it, his dad's DNA or his uncle, some one of his family members' DNA. And Bruce didn't want to tell him. He didn't think he could handle it. And Nightwing kind of snapped on him, like, well, why didn't you tell me? You think I can't handle it? They get into it a couple times during this arc, and you really see it because it's like Bruce, he says he wants to protect them, but in reality, I think Nightwing says it too. Is like you know, you say it's for us, but really it's to protect yourself. You know, for having to tell us and having to deal with that pain of seeing us hurt or whatever. So, but there's a lot of cool stuff they do there. Don't I did mention the Bat Family. You don't see them a lot. Like you see Nightwing a little bit, and he just talks to Bruce. There's no action. There's no fights with them. Nothing crazy with them in this arc. But other than that, really dope stuff. There's this part where Batman, right, gets trapped in, like, not the sewers, but he kind of finds their, like, hidden base, but they're like messing with him. He gets locked in there for God knows how long. Like, he's in there for, it could be days or weeks. His suit is all like tore up from just being in there so long. He's drained and he's like hallucinating because he hasn't had anything to eat or drink, and he was just like on his last legs. And you see him just fight, just, you know, he's like trying to stay alive just because he has to, you know, like, I have to survive, I will make it through this kind of thing. And it was just awesome to see. There's just so much good stuff, you know. And again, for the third time, Greg Capullo art makes this so much better. Like, there's so many things that they do, you know, with this Capullo art style. It just looks, it has so much more of an impact because, in my opinion, he's top tier art. Like, honestly, Capullo, top 5, top 3 for me, you know, art wise. He's up there, you know, but that's a top 5 artist, a separate video for a separate thing. So let's want to get too into that. But yeah, other than that, I really think that's the whole arc, you know, without trying to get into too spoilery. You know, Court of Owls, really dope. Secret Society, you know, Batman stuff, you know, and you see Bruce Wayne, you know, doing Bruce Wayne stuff. It's Batman. It's literally Batman, you know, bunch of detective work. If you like Batman, if you're a fan of everything Batman, you know, from his detective stuff, action to him being Bruce Wayne, and kind of like sweet talking, you know, kind of doing his thing, being the playboy and all that, and that I love. All of that I love. Detective, the fighting, Bruce Wayne, all that to me is fire. I love all that. He's one of my favorite characters in fiction, you know, and it does all of that in this arc. So if you're a Batman fan, or if you're just somewhat of a Batman fan, honestly, I think you should check out. You know, if you don't want to get the whole omnibus, you know, just read the arc. You know, maybe you don't want to read the whole run. Read the Court of Owls, see how you feel. But I mean, it's a great arc. If I had to rate it, I mean, 9 out of 10 easily. Like, easily. Like, it's just that good for me, my opinion. Like, it's a great arc. You know, it doesn't hit the 10, you know, that great max, but, you know, max score, because, like I said, the brother thing was a little shaky. I just didn't know how I felt about that, and the ending wasn't bad. It was a cool ending, but I don't know, it was a little less climactic than I hoped for. But other than that, great arc, wonderful art. Like, I was hooked, read it. Like I said, a Batman fan, if you have not read this, read this arc. It's that good. You have to just check it out. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Don't forget to click the link down below. Check out my Twitch, check out my YouTube. You know, I'm always on there. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, and peace out.